welcome to this week's vlog. We have just returned home from Yorkshire, where we spent a couple of days. We stayed in an Airbnb in Sheriff Hutton, and then we did a few days out. The first one was to Castle Howard, which some of you may know as Clyvedon, out of Bridgerton, and the other day was at the Yorkshire Lavender Farm. So join us on our adventures. So Castle Howard first came to our screens in Brideshead Revisited in 1981, and then only recently became Clyvedon in Bridgerton. As you can see, it's an absolutely stunning facade, and the aspect down to the lake is brilliant. The puppies loved it. It was really puppy friendly. They were allowed in all the grounds apart from the adventure playground, and they were even allowed in the cafe. So it was just the house they weren't allowed, and to be honest, by that time they needed a bit of a nap, so it was quite a good break for them. This is the adventure playground, and it's down near the lake. There is a cafe nearby, but it wasn't actually open on the day we were there, so that's worth checking. But there's quite a lot to do for kids, as you can see. And here comes a moment of cuteness. We saw the swans on the lake, and then we saw the cutest little cygnets playing in the water. Look at them. So there's three main gardens, I would say, at Castle Howard. The first one is on the way up to the Temple of the Four Winds. The next one is then the main grounds, which you can see here, and there's fountains and some stunning plants and flowers. And then the final one is the walled garden, which we'll come to in a bit. And you see there, they grow a lot of vegetables. They're quite self-sustainable. For the restaurants there, they provide a lot of their own fruit and veg. So after we became quite obsessed with the ducks, we headed into the main garden area, and you could see the pyramid there ahead of us, and there's quite a lot of monuments as you went round. The weather did actually take a turn for the worst in the main garden, and as you can see, it gets quite dark here. Well, that's the clouds overhead, and it absolutely threw it down with rain. And this is now the wall garden, where you can see quite a lot of the vegetables growing and how stunning and ornamental the gates are. We then headed into the main house. We did the audio tour, which I would highly recommend. The one thing I would call out though is you press the button to tell them which room you're in, but also then other options come up to give you more information, so make sure you don't miss by pressing through those as well. We entered the house through a side wing and went up some grand stairs before entering the guest bedroom and dressing room for a female guest, and then the same for a male guest, and those rooms are actually still used by the family today on special occasions. I'll let you enjoy all the pictures and imagine yourself living in a place like that. And we're here now in the Great Hall. There has been a little bit of damage to the Great Hall due to a fire that took place, I think, in the 1940s. But it was just a few cracks, and they have managed to keep the rest intact. It is an absolutely stunning location. I took a little bit of footage in the chapel. I mean, I can't imagine having a church in your own home, but obviously that's what they used to do. We then headed into the Courtyard Cafe, and we had some lunch, which was really nice, quite pricey, but really nice. And then we headed back into the Wall Garden because the rain had stopped, and we got a chance to just take another look around before we took the puppies home because they were exhausted by this point, and we'd had a brilliant day. We were there from 10 in the morning till 4 p.m. in the afternoon, and so a real full day and well worth it. So I do recommend anybody who's in the area to head along to Castle Howard for the day. The other day out we did was to Yorkshire Lavender Farm. Now, you do think you need to pick your time of year to go here. We were just starting to see the start of the lavender come out, but if we'd been any earlier, I don't think it would have been worth it. I think if you come a little bit later, you would have probably got a lot more vibrant colours, and it definitely would have been worth it. But the cafe was closed, but the tickets were quite cheap. I think they were about £6, so it was okay. You would think the puppies would be exhausted after those few days out, but they were still wrestling each other to the ground at every opportunity, as you can see here. That brings this vlog to a close. Thank you very much for joining us. If you do want any more information, please feel free to visit our website. It's www.cruising50.co.uk. And please join us for some of our other vlogs. We have our series on a walk, a coffee and a cake, where we've got a couple of vlogs on the Lake District, one in Penrith and one in Keswick, and then keep your eyes peeled for what's coming soon.